All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Team Next Level Quad Pod. I'm Coach Greg, joined by Marilyn, James, and Rich. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Hey, guys. I don't know where to look. So many cameras.
So much stuff going on here.
We have to adjust again.
This is
I know,
sensory
it's so
overload
weird.
for me. We're trying
And
some
change.
new stuff. Yeah, change
Don't know where
change
to
is
look.
difficult. I can't
Change
see
is
Marilyn.
hard.
She's through my
I know.
boom
Your
arm.
big boom arm.
We need a round table, like Knights of the
If we
Temple.
have a follower who's a carpenter and would like to make us a round table.
That can fold up easily,
I
though.
told you I can make the table. I just can't make it fold up. All right, so welcome everybody. A couple of things we're going to talk about. The main topic of our show this week is going to be how to improve your triathlon run by not running more. James?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. This was James's idea, and I think it's a good one. And so we're going to talk about one of the easiest ways to improve your run in triathlon specifically. And we're going to get into some of the details about that. But sort of late breaking news today, I guess it was last night, some interesting things came out of a meeting with USA Triathlon. And they had they do like this weekly or bi-weekly town hall meeting Zoom kind of thing for anybody who wants to go and listen to, random topics. But this one was a big one. The USAT has changed their pricing structure for membership, and a couple of things are good things. They've lowered the price, or they've scaled the price of the one-day membership based on the distance of the race.
Mm-hmm.
So USAT, I forget what the numbers are, but they used to just have like a standard. I think it was it $25 for a race
Per race, 25.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it goes down to, I think, as low as 15 for a sprint,
Mm-hmm.
and then it scales up from there. It might. Does anybody know if it's more than that for like a 70.3 or an Ironman?
Yeah. It's like 85, 90.
Is
What?
it?
Really? For the
No,
day?
I just made that
no.
up.
Just made
Oh,
that
my
up.
gosh. No. I don't remember.
I have no idea.
But it doesn't retroactively go. Like if you've already registered for
You're good.
races,
Okay. So
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
registered
think-
for a sprint already at $25 for the one day, they're not gonna send you $10.
the other way around, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if
Like
you
some-
did it for like
You
an
don't-
Ironman, you don't
you
have
don't
to.
have to
I
pay
don't think
more.
you
Okay.
have to pay more.
No.
So that was a small thing, and then they created all these different tiers of membership. So that one day license is now called a bronze membership, and then it goes all the way up to, and this is the one where there has the most pushback, I guess, is the platinum level of membership. So the basic standard membership that we all have, the year-long membership, is now the equivalent of their silver membership. There's a gold membership that brings with it a couple of perks. And then there is the platinum level, which was $400?
400.
$400 a year. And the biggest thing, this was rolled out like really quickly, not really telling too many people about it. And the biggest kind of noise I've heard from people is that level of membership is required for you to go to ITU World Championship. Any ITU World Championship event, if you're going to qualify for Team USA, you need to be this platinum level member. And all that kind of comes with that. When I first heard it, I actually thought that you got, like, that was covering either your race kit or the
Yep.
parade kit
Nothing. You
the
don't get
parade
any.
kit that you're forced to buy, or your race membership or your race entry. And all it does is gives you like $100 holding, like $100 deposit, or I don't even know.
It's a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, $100 deposit on your race entry for that race.
I also thought it was like either they give you the kit or the apparel, and then you just go race for the team.
Nope, they give
No.
you
But nothing. No.
You get nothing.
You get nothing and like it. So this actually reminded me of early on, we did a podcast on the one percenters, and I forget which one of you guys talked about it. I think, Rich, it was you, right? The example of coffee.
I think it was
Yeah.
James. Oh, it was you? Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like, there's a subset of it was actually both of you
Targeted
kind of hit on
marketing.
each of these things, but like, James, you said you gave a number to it, and you were like, there's 10% of the population who are willing to pay double or
Yeah, like
triple.
of your current customer base.
Yeah.
Like 10 to 20% are willing to pay like 4 to 5 times more
Well, that lines up. They must have listened to our podcast because
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
did is they took their yearly membership and they jacked it up by
Well, except that they complained and now they had to rescind.
right.
But the caveat to that though is if they see the value.
Well, and that
There's,
is the value.
there's nothing
The value
extra. That's
is,
what I was.
Yeah,
gonna,
they're
there's
not
nothing
giving
to do.
anything.
do you want to go to World Championships?
Mm.
And
How bad do you want to go?
right. And
Could you pay it like last minute?
No,
No.
because you have to be that level to qualify at your qualifying event. So this actually could potentially mean you have to be at that level for 2 years.
Right.
Because like if you qualify in 2024 for a 2025 race, you have to be platinum for both of those years.
races.
I should
Oh.
remember this from
Ah.
our previous episode, but is there cash awards for
No.
Worlds?
Not at the age group level.
Because then they should, with this extra money. That could be enticing.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't know
this
how
is-
many people would be in that. How many people are on the USAT team?
So I tried to dig into this a little bit. It's really hard to find numbers because so USAT or ITU, which is like the world governing body for triathlon, runs a handful of different world championship events. They run sprint and Olympic distance. They run what they call long distance, which is more like half, like a 70.3, and then they have ultra distance. But then they also have aquabike and aquathon. They have a winter cross world championships. There's all these different things, and to qualify for like triathlon worlds, like we had Aaron Birch on early on in the show. That was one of the, like he went to those. I think it was like Olympic distance worlds twice. I think Dr. John has qualified for worlds, and then COVID kind of shut that down on him. But like you have to be really fast to qualify for worlds in triathlon in that race. But other ones, like you're really like, I don't want to take anything away from the people who qualified, but like you can kind of do it. Like if that's your goal, pretty much.
Didn't you qualify?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Like
that's
I'm not
like
that good.
Top 10 or 15% of your age group.
I was trying to say he is
Yeah.
good, but hey,
No, because I qualified in the aquabike.
Yeah.
Like you had to be top. I forget what you had to be in your age group at aquabike nationals, which there was only like, I don't know, 15 people in my age group
Right.
at that race. Like it didn't feel like a national level race. Like any Ironman race we've been to feels
More.
4 times bigger. Now, but that got you into long distance world championships. If you did the triathlon, you could have qualified in long distance aquabike championships. You could have qualified in Olympic distance aquabike champ. Like there's a lot of these world championships out there. And from talking to people at that race, there's a lot of them who like really enjoy, like that's their fun vacation time is to go to world championships, wherever it's going to be. And they meet up with the same people every year. And they kind of have this group of friends that they do it with. And like now I don't want to say you're pricing them out of it because I think people are just going to pay. I think people are going to be loud and noisy about it now. And then they're just going to like, well, that's the way it is.
well, I thought that we just said they rescinded it.
They rescind
For now,
yeah.
until they figure it out.
So earlier today, a couple hours ago, they posted that for 2024, you don't have to be that. And I didn't even read it carefully enough, which is, I should have probably that we're talking about it. I don't even know if it means, I think it's like if you already qualified, like in 2023 for 2024 Worlds, you don't have to like upgrade to platinum. But I don't know if that's the case.
If you're going to go 24 to
If you're
25.
going to go
24 to
24 to 25, they said that they'll let
The-
everybody know before the
Yeah.
time that they actually race to qualify.
Right. So before the qualifying for
race,
2025 starts,
They're going to
they're
let
gonna have it
everybody know.
figured out.
Yeah. But right now, you don't have to pay unless you want to pay. And then they're going to give you, I think, like some free stuff.
right. And there is a whole list of, you guys, features and benefits
Yeah.
for being in that platinum membership. But I don't know. It seems to me to point to a bigger problem at USA Triathlon.
It's just not a smart way of rolling this out. You don't go 400% more.
It's more than 4. Wasn't a
It's-
yearly membership
I mean,
$60?
Yeah. It's
Yeah. So it's that regular
90,
membership is
was it?
going from like, I don't remember. I think it's going from like 60 up to 100 or 85. And then that's just for the, apples to apples in change. And then it's this new platinum level.
Or 600% more,
Yeah.
700% more.
That's
Like you
huge.
just don't do that. Like I'm just like, it's like backwards. Like you don't have the thought process. Like, okay, like my gym has increased its price
Right.
a little bit.
I mean, here's a great example.
You know?
Our property taxes, right? Has anybody had their property taxes ever go down? No. I've never had a year where they've stayed the same. But it goes up just these little tiny, and sometimes they feel like big amounts, but like it's not, I don't have my property taxes double. Right?
And like it's kind of late to tell everybody, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to start racing now. They've already all paid for whatever they're going to do.
Right.
Right.
Like what about I had an issue with I actually had 2 accounts going on 2 different emails, and I had to have them merge them with my coaching once I got my coaching and stuff done. And for whatever reason, I paid for a 3-year membership. So now I'm assuming, but I don't know, like, does that 3-year membership is good
you're not
until
going to
20?
Worlds.
I'm not
No
going to
Worlds for you.
It's going until
I'm gonna
20.
decline my invitation as well
It goes until like 2025.
for financial reasons only.
It goes to 2025, but now am I automatically a silver until then? I don't know.
I just want to be at the fly on the wall on that meeting that they had and be like, okay, guys, let's look at the numbers.
Right. And we're going to get to that in a second.
This is going to go, well, the meeting after is not the meeting
I'll
where
tell
they
you that.
decided to let's look, okay, so we're charging 85. We want more money.
How the meeting went, we're screwed. We're losing a lot of
They're-
money.
And that's blew my mind. They have been operating at about a $2 million loss every year for the last
It's crazy.
4 or 5 years.
How do they continue to operate? I don't get it.
And their budget is not big enough to absorb that's 10% of their budget. They're operating 10% over what revenue is.
Wonder what their biggest cost is.
Salaries, wasn't it?
No, I don't think I mean, those people, it seems to me like they're making a lot, but I have no idea what CEOs actually make.
I thought that's what the thing said. That was
So I mean, the smart thing would have been to at least
Only for the last 2 years. So in
2?
21, their revenue was 17 and their expenses were 15. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
well, it has the difference, right?
it
No, that's what I'm
shows the
saying.
difference.
Yeah,
They
so
have
you're at
2,
2, and then keep going.
and that's the last 2 years. So
Okay, keep going,
and
though.
then that's it.
No, keep scrolling
That's it.
down.
Oh, the other way.
Mhm.
They broke even, pretty much.
So what year was the last year they made money? 2017.
They made money in 2017, and
So since 2019, they've been hemorrhaging lots of money.
How do you continue?
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. It's
No,
a
it says
weird.
21. They made money. They go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. I'm
It's
sorry.
not-
I read that then wrong. So
No, they
but,
haven't.
but this year, 2022, they lost a lot of money. So
And that's the thing. Like, it's hard to figure out because of COVID and stuff like that. But I would imagine that the amount they make and the amount they spend, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to go up 400%.
right, but I mean, how many people in the so
5.
how many? I'd like to know how many people are members of USAT. Of those, how many are going to actually get that
Go there.
that platinum membership? Like, wouldn't you just make more if you took everybody's membership fee and raised it $20
Right.
versus trying to create these levels and
But
now
that-
you create all this concern, like everybody gets angry
And
doesn't sign up.
confusion.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Like, what is it going to cost for this race?
I mean, this is what the finance people do.
Yeah, they didn't have a
They're
good
not doing a
risk.
good job.
They didn't
but,
have a very
but
good
if all the
risk
money is going to the
analyst.
CEOs and the 3 top
But
people,
I mean, it's
the
not
finance
like
people aren't.
even their top. If you add up all their C-suite and stuff, it's like just over $1 million, right? I think.
Just the top 3. We don't know
Just
what the rest of them.
No, they have
But
like
it says
5
wages
people. They
and
have everybody.
salaries. Wages and salaries is like over $4 million.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be a big chunk of.
So I don't know what the answer is other than I threw this out there, a hostile takeover with
Yeah.
the quad pod
Let's do it.
becomes leaders
USAT
of
quad.
USAT.
I mean, only if it's pennies on the dollar. I mean,
yeah.
goes for sale. I mean,
Yeah, but it's not. It's a nonprofit. Like it's not a.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even know how that works. Like it can't go away, right? They can't go bankrupt, can they? Or does somebody else come in? Like USAT doesn't just handle our racing. Like USAT is in charge of the Olympic program and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like
are they too big to fail?
I don't know.
Sounds
I don't,
like they're
not,
failing.
So
sounds like they're failing, but they're not that big.
what I'm wondering
On
is if your
paper, at least.
revenues are 20 and you're spending 25, 5 has to come out of some bank somewhere.
Yeah.
So they
Right,
will. It's
where-
not like they're going to go bankrupt, but somebody's just going to stop.
It's when they can't have access to credit.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
party
someone's
ends.
going to stop giving them money.
That's
Yeah. So I don't know what the answer is.
The answer is they need to 10x their lending. So now that the bank is stuck with them, they
right.
can't. Was it
They
something
just
like
keep
So
paying
what are you saying?
themselves
You
more.
borrow a ton of money?
borrow a ton that now
You can last
you're not
for
the
20
problem.
years.
Like the bank is like, ooh, we have the problem. We can't let you go under. We can't write off 200 million in debt. We can write off 2 million,
Uh-huh.
but 200.
How can they? Are they going to allow them to borrow that much?
They won't.
What are their assets? Like, what do
They
they
have no
have? They
assets,
have. They don't
nothing.
have any.
You just
so
have to
like,
find a bank that'll approve
how do
it.
they like even borrow that much?
There's
They
some
can't.
there's some people who've made their entire careers out of this.
Those people scare me.
Yeah.
Those aren't my kind of people.
Was it? I think I forget what the saying is. Like if you owe the bank 200,000, you have a problem. If you owe the bank 200 million, the bank has a problem. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So last night's meeting, they did away with the, or they,
They-
paused.
No,
They,
t-
pa- they
today
yeah, they
they-
basically paused because
Today
of
they
the
did.
outrage from last night's meeting.
But everyone else has to pony up if they're going to renew
I
their
think
membership.
that's what it comes down to. Yeah, you got to pony up, and like I think the membership is ultimately going to have to dig them out of this hole, but they have to just stop spending on. There's the one thing I heard that was a big increase over the last couple of years has been what the cost of insurance is for them, because USAT is covering all of the sanctioned events with their insurance policy. So if that goes up, I can understand how that would be almost like a unforeseen. Like my medical insurance has gone up crazy amount, right? Like that's just something that whoever's paying for it has to eat. So you can't figure out what that's going to be necessarily year to year. But there's other example. Like they were at Endurance Exchange a couple weeks ago, which was this big conference that they were all behind. And they were talking how great everything's going and everything's, roses. And they sent like 10 or 15 people from USAT
That's what they
there.
were saying. I read an article. They were like, "Does everybody have to travel?"
Right.
'Cause their travel expense was really high too.
Yeah. So
The party ends. They gotta
Yeah.
lean
Yeah.
up a little bit now.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's got to be some large scale changes.
And there's probably some, just bigger picture issues where everyone's saying the sport triathlon is just not growing like it used to, and the
Right.
barrier to entry is so high. So I don't know if they're just leaning into then the fact that most people who tend to do triathlon tend to be more affluent. So they're
Yeah.
like, well, they have the money.
But your bike
But-
price hasn't gone up 600% in 1 year. So like they're not logical. There's no like that. That's why that conversation to me I don't compute it.
But you brought it up that the annual membership fee hasn't gone up in like 10 years
Since
or something.
what,
Yeah.
15 or 16 or
So
something like that?
it's catching up.
Okay, but
Adjust for
and,
inflation.
right. And if you told me like it went from 60 to 100, and if they had done it $5 a year or $10 a year, everybody would have been just like, oh yeah,
Well, it's,
everything's getting more expensive.
And I don't
But-
know that those people that are going to compete for a spot in the Olympics and all that they're that affluent, like you
Oh,
said.
those people are not.
They're
those
not.
people are living like.
So they're
yeah.
the ones that are getting charged the $400 for essentially nothing.
What can we look up that'd be a good proxy for what was the price of something in 2015? And that
well, hold on a sec. Let me ask this question. What's the price of registering for a race?
Mhm.
That hasn't gone
That
up.
hasn't changed, right?
Oh,
I mean, it's
you don't
Has
think
it?
so?
don't
It's
know.
changed,
I
but
was
it's
reading like
not.
full
I don't know.
Ironmans used to be like $300
No.
or something.
Not
Never.
in 15.
No, it was like 750 or 650. It wasn't.
I would say I've noticed just in the couple of years that I've been doing it regularly, I feel like you had no problem finding a sprint race for $100. And now I feel like if I see that, I consider it a bargain. I feel like Olympic races. What did New
Yeah,
Jersey
but that's
State?
because
Do you
they-
remember what New Jersey State cost last year? Because when I did it a couple of years ago, it was like 140, 140, and I feel like it's
Yeah.
like 160, 170.
I want to say it was close to 200.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
I do think think races are going up.
But that's the
So-
quality of the races. You're no longer putting on like the races that you're talking about that were around here, Pequannock and some others.
Those just went under.
They just went under because they didn't
Raise
they
the
didn't
price
go
of the
with
race.
price and then put in the other stuff that you needed to get, the road closures,
Yeah.
whatever, you know,
And that costs money.
WAG and all this other stuff, and that's why,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I think races, they have gone up, but not USAT gone up. I mean, races used like legitimate races,
Okay,
the ones
yeah,
that I
but-
first
all
raced,
right.
like Rev 3 Quasi.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
they weren't
love that race.
I
don't
know you
You-
bring
It's
it
the
up
only one I
all the
remember.
time. It's like the toe. It's the
It was
race in the
it was
Why
the
do I feel like
first-
this is
but
the first
they
time I heard
sold
this race,
to-
though?
But they
What?
sold
No.
to Iron.
He
Talks
talks about it all the
his
time.
real first.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the real first.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like been
Mhm.
blocked out
No.
though selectively.
That, I mean,
No?
that was just my first race.
Yeah.
It was an Olympic one,
Yeah.
but they sold to Ironman, and those prices were $200-300.
Yeah. I
The logistics.
but I don't think we can make an apples to apples comparison between the current $60, or I think it was 60. I don't know why that number stuck in my head. $60 a year USAT membership to the $400 platinum membership. I think we have to look at
Yeah.
what's the new regular
Regular
yearly,
membership.
and that's I think 100. So 60 to 100, big increase, almost 50% increase, or almost 100% increase, right?
But bike prices have doubled or more than doubled.
now,
I think what they approached wrong, like
Well,
Iron Man has their Nirvana and
experience.
XC, but they do give to some degree
Quite a
more
bit, yeah.
benefits, right?
But
Nirvana maybe not as much,
the
but
platinum that has a lot of check marks in their
Yeah.
boxes, like.
but it's just not resonating then with.
No.
What does it
I think,
give,
I
the
think
platinum?
people got really stuck on. I don't have my phone. I think people got really stuck on the worlds thing at that
Yeah.
platinum level. I think that was it. I think if you had just had a $400 platinum thing like the Nirvana, people would have been like, "All right, cool. Like if you got it, spend it. Like
Right.
fine." But not as a hey, you
How
want to
you
create,
have
you want to
to.
compete as a member of Team USA. You got to be here.
This mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like punishing people
and
for success.
for those
Yeah,
people,
exactly.
for those people to get what they're after, they're not getting anything else, right? Like, yeah, are you getting some kind of VIP tent at nationals or something? Sure, okay, but that's like that's what I'm saying. Those are Nirvana things. Those aren't trying to get you they aren't adding anything to your actual race experience, right? And these are people, if you're trying to qualify for Worlds, that's what you're worried about is the race itself. And now it's like, okay, to participate, you got to be in this category.
So it's almost like they try to make their own like version of a pro card, but then you don't get like free races with like you do with
That's
the pro card.
That's a good way to look at it.
But they
Yeah.
should have maybe just said, "Here is your USAT like pro card,"
Elite card or something.
but then
call
you
it
at
something
least
like
get
that.
like entry to race.
Yeah, they still
yeah.
have to pay for the races.
Because doesn't the Ironman race, if you have a pro card, you get
Mhm.
races free or something, or
It
you pay-
includes.
you-
Doesn't
No,
it
you
includes
pay
a certain amount of
you
races.
pay Ironman $1,000 or $1,200 a year, and that's your
Yeah.
race entry for as many races as you want to do.
That's what
the
they
good thing is they'll hear this podcast and then they'll be like, "That's a good idea."
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
fix it.
You
Oh.
might
Imagine.
get phone calls.
Watch
That's-
exactly. Imagine like they're like, "Oh, so we're announcing the
Give
pro
us a
card."
call if you need some ideas.
Yeah.
We should just become consultants.
Oh, that's the best gig going,
It
isn't
is
it?
because you,
You attach that to your
Uh-huh.
name. Oof.
Yeah.
Except I guarantee you this gold, silver, platinum thing was a consultant firm that came up with this idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they've had
But
to
now
be in the
they
room
can
and
go
like,
away and like
"Mm."
nobody's going to be like,
Yeah.
oh,
No one's gonna. Yeah.
XYZ Consulting. What idiots they are. No,
They
it's
just
USATs.
need to change their name.
Right. USAT's a bunch of idiots. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I think it's going to be, I think people are just going to suck it up and pay if that's what their thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And one thing we didn't say, this has in no way affects anything to do with Ironman's World Championships. So those are like, most people don't know that USAT even has like a national,
Yeah.
Team USA program. Like you see the people in the kits, but I don't think people realize like how you get that kit, how you get to those races and stuff is because Ironman is such a big elephant in the room that they just, you hear Worlds and you think Kona or whatever. So,
All right, we solved that problem.
yeah. All right. Give us a call, USAT. We're here all the time. We'll listen. We'll help you out.
Next level
Easy as that.
consultants are.
Ooh, that's a good name for a consultant. Next level consultants.
Yeah.
We'll help you
It's probably out
elevate
there.
your. Yeah,
We
for sure.
are,
Just listen to the podcast. Click on the link in the bottom. Follow.
We have a
Like
very,
our
we have
show.
a very reasonable fee.
Yeah.